I want to say solipsistic. That's my favorite word of the day. I'm probably misusing it, um, but yeah, reverting to a state where you're more willing to not worry about either what other people are feeling or thinking or other possible ideas, and focus in on this is what I want to accomplish, and to have that kind of vision. That has a lot to do with NI and FI. It's that sense of this is what I want, and I'm now sort of showing or pressing forward on that basis or principle. So I hope that helps. 32 minutes, okay. Oh, thank you that I'm doing a great job. I do my best. I don't know if I did a good job with the live stream, but I'll stop critiquing myself. I'm not trying to fish for compliments for you to all reassure me that, oh, no, you did a great job. I mean, obviously that's great and all, but I'm not fishing for compliments. I just almost instinctively, because I do feel like it didn't go quite as well as I wanted, even though I know you guys enjoyed it. Anyway, so thank you. I'm doing a great job. But have you ever considered, oh, you're one of these? This will probably be the last question I answer today. I only got halfway through the halfway. Although granted, this is only about 2 hours long this time around. Yeah, next time, if I ever do a live stream next time, I'm going to have to find a way to limit the number of questions or something along those lines, because this is clearly not going to work. But have you ever considered that you are not an INFJ? I'm being serious. This is Jeremy James, by the way, and I've seen some of your comments before. That I am an ESTP. Yes, I have heard this, and it's very interesting. When I was 16 years old, I discovered personality. There's some things like that. However, I do like your work. And well, thank you that I'm still awesome. Don't worry at all. Have I ever considered that I'm ESTP? Okay, believe it or not, I have once or twice. I don't believe that that's correct, but here's the rationale behind it. Because it's all in the same temperament. It's in that clergy temperament. And so the notion is that, like I've talked about, I've talked a bit about Jordan Peterson, who I do believe is an INFJ, but I could also understand why someone would type him as, say, ESTP or consider it, because there are times when he shows ESTP traits and he actually looks kind of ESTP-ish. Usually it's when he starts getting more excited, because he asserts everything with a lot of force and feeling, because he's trying to make it absolutely clear, and he uses examples, or his word choice starts to become more and more ESTP-ish, because it becomes more and more about impressing in an external fashion upon the audience's mind, in this very direct way. You ever catch him talking about Marxists, right? And he gets very sort of it's like the bloody Marxists. It's just that use of the word bloody. He it's a ESTP-ish thing to do. Also the fact that he you get him up on the stage and he just talks and talks and talks, and he's going all over the place, and it's that NISE that I think is what's going on there. And he goes over similar themes, but he will approach them from different angles every time that he talks about it, because he's in a different spot or in a different context, thinking about different things. But anyway, I've noticed this apply to me. For instance, like with the in the interview with an ENFJ, we talked about my D&D style, and the fact that I think, contrary to what people might associate with INFJ or think, my D&D style, once I got comfortable, not at the beginning, but once I got comfortable and I sort of knew the people and I could judge from their facial expressions, and I didn't feel the same fear that they were going to like try to eat me alive that I might feel with, say, a complete group of strangers that I don't know. Once I have that confidence that I do have a bit of wiggle room to mess up and so forth, then it's much easier and I almost can't help myself from just going completely off script, off book, off world even. And there was one D&D thing that I DM'd for, and I started out by planning a ton, but then just remarkably quickly, I both just didn't feel like planning for them and found that I didn't need to, because I was just going to completely improvise things anyway. Like, I was literally just improvising off the cuff. There would be a lot of times where I would pause and I would be thinking, and I was maintaining this illusion in my mind that I wasn't improvising it. And by the way, that maintaining an illusion and that side of me that does actually like showmanship, I can really understand the connection with the ESTP and why someone might see those connections. But I think that it's more of a matter of it's the opposite end within the same temperament, same function axes, but different expressions. So it makes a lot of sense that INFJs can sometimes seem like ESTPs or ESTPs INFJs. You can see kind of that slippage between the two, because they're both dominant perceiving, and they are doing similar-ish things. So that's what I would say about that. I have thought about it. I don't believe so, though, because if anything, it just makes much more sense to me that and it's a lot simpler to simply say I am an INFJ, and INFJs typically can show ESTP-ish traits, than to take the much more roundabout route of saying I'm an ESTP, I just don't look at all like one, or I don't have the same degree of abrasiveness or externality that you see with them, and these sorts of things. That just seems like a very roundabout thing to say. And also, I read the way that ESTPs write, or I've watched them on YouTube, and it's like it's more of just an interesting side note that I might start to look like that, but that's certainly not how I think or how I am the grand majority of the time. So I'm wondering when this thing is going to alert me that, okay, it says I've still got a cool half hour left, so I'm going to keep going. Actually, well, this video is approaching 2 hours, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to charge up my computer, take a bit of a break, and then hopefully I can finish up the rest of these today. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this for a long while, because this was unexpectedly exhausting. But I'm quite determined to answer all these questions, because I've already said I've already determined I'm going to answer them all. I've already said I'm going to answer them all, and gosh darn it, I'm not going to go back on that and leave somebody out. So, okay, and I'm enjoying answering them. It's a great way for me to get ideas out there and to try to practice explaining myself. Hopefully you're finding it useful too. So, however, whether or not it's a whole separate video that I make with the rest of them, or if I combine it with this, however that works out, I'll see you then. All right. See ya.